There is a person who is saying, this point is crucial for you. You have to understand this. You have to understand this. There is the other person who is saying, this point is crucial for you. You need to get this into your head. You need to get this into your head. Could you just repeat this line? Will commit less errors. So why don't you think in this way, that speak more and let the errors happen? I just remember one of my recent videos on Instagram. There I was talking about कि तुम्हारा क्या जाता है मैं कुछ भी करूँ, and उसका what do I mean by quick English conversation? You might be thinking this, right? So by quick English conversation, I don't mean you have to speak faster or you have to sound fancy. What do I all mean is your sentences, your conversation or your speech should be spontaneous. You are supposed to be sounded more natural and more fluent. And how are you gonna do this? So there are some secrets for sure, but the secrets are within you. It's just that we avoid it. We don't want to see it, but secrets are within us. So I'm going to talk about those secrets only. That's why the title of this video says Secrets to Quick English Conversations. I tell you, or I try to explain this with an example also, or with you can say a situation. What happens sometimes, you learn a lot of rules of grammar, you learn making sentences, different type of sentences, you learn vocabulary also, you learn expressions, phrases, and so many things you learn. But what comments I get usually on Instagram, I do get these comments that at the time of speaking I forget. What to do then? So at the time of speaking, you forget because of lack of practice. There is just one line answer, that there is lack of practice. But saying this is not sufficient. It will not suffice at all. I know this thing. So let's try to understand. Let's try to contemplate. Let's try to rethink. Now, before we discuss the secrets to quick English conversation, I would like to discuss its importance. So what do you think? Why is it important to us? When you think you have a lot of stuffs in your mind, when you are filled with a lot of stuffs, or you simply think you have immense knowledge in this particular language, then you start comparing yourself. When you write so beautifully, so efficiently, and then you think, what I'm speaking. When it comes to speaking, you start comparing yourself, that why the same things are not coming out from my mouth. Why am I so pathetic? This makes you feel depressed, or this makes you feel demoralized. So okay, coming back to the importance part. So why is it important to you? Because it boosts up your confidence. Because you don't have to stress yourself out that I know too much and the person doesn't even know how is he or she is speaking. Just stop that comparison, because that doesn't let you get that confidence in you, okay? And that does not boost up your confidence. The first and the major part is your confidence only. Because when you speak in a flow, when you speak naturally in a rhythmic manner, then you really don't care what phrases you learned, what vocabulary you learned, or what a different way or an alternative way should be there to put out the same statement. When you don't think about all these things, then you flow, and that flow is so beautiful. Just try it once, okay? So that's why I'm saying that this quick English conversation, or you are supposed to be spontaneous, you are supposed to be natural with your words, you are supposed to be fluent. So for all these things, it becomes very, very important for you, okay? So the same things we are going to talk about in this video, that what are the secrets, how you can change yourself. I'm not saying that change yourself, but at least bring those habits in you. And stop being or stop having that orthodox feeling. Okay, I have seen some people that if a girl is saying, everybody praises. Like I got one of the comments on Instagram that because in one of my videos I explained only in English, I did not use Hindi. So one of them was saying कि इंग्लिश में समझा रही है, किसी को घंटा समझ में आएगा क्या, and all such things he was saying. So this is something you do with others. You always think that you are the best, and you think what others are doing, even if they are doing good, so you think that no, they are not supposed to get all these things because I am better at this and all such things. So this is the comparison. So stop doing that, okay? Just think that everybody is good. Just think that like let it be, no? Even if things are not coming in your mind, it's okay. Just embrace all these things. Embrace your mistakes. Embrace everybody, and then only you will be having those positive feelings in your mind. Because if you are positive, if you are happy within, if you are happy from inside, then you will love everything and you will have that confidence also. And the one of the other importance for this English conversation is it will help in your job interviews as well, because there you have to be sounded naturally. There you cannot search for words. Yes, this is a good term. You don't have to search for the words. Okay. The first secret you must have heard many a time, and that is none other than your think in English process. So, I don't know how many of you have this habit of thinking in English, talking to yourself, and contemplating. Means all these things are same, just the different terms are there. So, think in English, I would explain you this with an example. What I used to apply in my journey, what I used to prefer doing was, I do have the habit of talking to myself, I agree, and that is not so excessive manner that it has become disease and all. It's in a very moderate manner. So when you think in English, for example, right now I'm sitting, so I'm talking, I don't have the time to think. But for example, I am alone. There's something going on in my mind. So why not to think that thing in English only? Because we all talk to ourselves uh, in any language. We just talk to ourselves, that I want to say. So when you are talking to yourself, just always prefer this language only. Yes, I just tell you this again, what I used to do. I don't know how I got this habit, but when I was in 6 7 8 itself, so I started talking to myself. What I remember, I might be doing even prior to that. So I had the habit of talking to myself in मैं. Like, I don't know whether you people, it's a very silly thing, but you would understand this or not, I don't know. I used to talk to myself in मैं, कि मैं कर रही हूँ, मैं जा रही हूँ. And you would be thinking that what's different about it. So yes, it is different, because in our language we say हम जा रहे हैं, हम कर रहे हैं, हमने खाया, and all such things we say like this. Okay, but when I used to speak to myself, I all of a sudden I converted my language into मैं. From there I started. But when I got the exposure of English language, when I decided that I need to learn this language, anyhow I would learn. So since then, what I started doing, I started talking to myself in English. So I used to talk to people in Hindi, but when it came to speaking to myself, I started in English only. Means I used to do only and only in English. So whether I was framing sentences correctly or wrongly, that did not matter to me at all, but I used to do. Okay, so same thing I'm asking you to do as well. Even if you are eating, or you're cooking, or any of the activities or the tasks or the household chores you are doing. For boys, you may be doing something else. So whenever you are doing, there kind of some thought process, there kind of some contemplation is there. So whenever you contemplate, जब हम सोचते हैं, जब हम deeply किसी के बारे में सोच रहे हैं, जैसे आपको किसी ने हर्ट किया, ओके, फॉर एग्जाम्पल समबडी हर्ट यू, सो वुड से दैट हाउ कुड दैट पर्सन डू दिस टू मी, इंस्टेड ऑफ सेइंग कि वो मेरे साथ ऐसा कैसा कर सकती है, कैसे कर सकती है, जेंडर अकॉर्डिंग टू यू विल चूज. सो यू वुड से हाउ कुड ही डू दिस टू मी एंड ऑल. So ask yourself, there from here only you start adapting it in a natural form. That's what I'm saying. If this is your natural form, why? Because you are just bringing those natural incidents, those real incidents to you. And let's suppose if I ask you that practice your English on shopping, you will say yes. Three advantages of online shopping, three disadvantages of online shopping, offline shopping, whatever. So in this way, something is prepared, something is already designed in your mind. But when you speak spontaneously, that okay, that person did this to me, I would not spare him, I would also do this thing. However, these are the wrong words, means wrong thought process. Don't do like this. But I'm just saying that whatever you do, just do in English, just speak in English, talk to yourself in English. You can understand this in a better manner when you repeat some dialogues in your mind, or you have some internal kind of dialogues in the sense, again I would take my example because it may vary person to person, but if you can relate it to me, so please do it. So what I used to do, again, when I was in my school or in my school days, so I used to plan the scenario. I don't know why, but I used to do that if tomorrow I go to school, so I would say these things to my friends. I used to imagine a playground. I'm standing in a playground, and I'm just asking somebody to give that ball to me, or give that chance to me. So it was my imagination that I would be speaking in English to my friends. However, it never happened, but that really helped me to think these things in English, or to get that thought process in English. So it really helped me. Again, I'm not asking you to behave like a lunatic person that you're imagining and all. It is anyways the matter of back then, in that 6th to 7th standard of mine, or 8th standard probably. What I'm just saying is, if you are able to imagine the scenarios, that if this situation occurs to you, what words, what dialogues you would be saying. If somebody comes to you and asks you, for example, if you are a senior, and if a junior comes to you and asks some questions that brother or sister, please help me how to tackle this question, how to tackle this chapter. And just imagine yourself, just put yourself there, and you imagine how would you be saying those statements. So yes, first you cover this chapter, then you jump to this one, and you don't need to mug up, you need to understand the concepts and all. So these are the dialogues you just recite inside you, okay? And this really helps. It would change, this concept, this strategy would change according to the age. I know that this may sound interesting to the people until their college, their university, but it is absolutely, it may be sounding boring to the people who are working professionals. So you can think the way, or sorry, you can work the way it works for you, or simply I would say whatever floats your boat. But the fact is, you have to think in English, you have to generate a scenario, you have to repeat those dialogues within you, so that when the real situation comes, you would be able to speak. And the same thing happens whenever you have to speak on the stage. So first you speak something, means first you practice, and that is something we call as warm up. You need to perform that warm up, you have to do with your speeches also, with your words, sentences also. So when you have already that phrases within you, you are able to give your performance better, you are able to perform better. Long story short, think in English, imagine in English, please. The second comes your shadowing technique, which is again nothing but the imitation technique, where you just have to imitate others, or simply you have to repeat the other people's lines, whatever you like. This helps you to get the fluency. I would again start it, or I would again explain this with an example. There is a person who is saying, this point is crucial for you, you have to understand this, you have to understand this. There is the other person who is saying, this point is crucial for you, you need to get this into your head, you need to get this into your head. Could you just repeat this line, what I just said? You would be fumbling, or I should say you must be fumbling. Just try it once, pause this video of mine and try it once. You would be fumbling if you are hearing this for the first time. So this is something what we call as fluency. You need to perform this shadowing technique, you need to repeat others lines. So for this would not come in one go. I am telling you, if this is the first time of yours, if you say you need to get this into your head, so you may say you need to get to hand, and something like you would be fumbling. That's my point. So if you also want to use this phrase in a proper manner, if you like this phrase of mine, or if whomsoever is using this phrase, if you like it, if you are attracted towards this line, then you will have to practice it. Why? Because this is not a normal statement, this is like a phrase, and until you practice it, it won't come into your mind, or you won't get this into your head. You won't get this into your head. This is not only about one phrase, you have to perform the same technique with multiple phrases, multiple words, and multiple expressions, and you have to do it continuously for few days, for a month, and then only you will be able to see some improvements. Just you imagine, if this one phrase or one sentence can make some difference in your speech, in your conversation, what if you do at least 100, or probably 200, 300? So this would be getting multiplied. So just imagine that how much difference could it make to your conversation, and you are supposed to do it. Focus on fluency over accuracy. What does it mean? It means allow your mistakes. Embrace your mistakes. Let your mistakes happen. Do not judge yourself. Do not stress yourself out that how can I make mistakes. When you allow your mistakes, that means you are not taking care of that, and that is not stopping you, that is not becoming your hindrance, or simply it is not hindering your speech, your conversation, your dialogues. And by saying this, I don't mean you have to forget your mistakes forever, but just imagine a person who have just started. If he is at beginner level, would it help him if he keeps thinking about his mistakes? We just need to bring that confidence within him. A person who is not speaking at all, if I ask him, or if we ask him that explain your day, how was your day, what are you going to do tomorrow, if he is not able to explain those things, and by interrupting him again and again that no, why did you say wake up, say woke up, why are you using has, use have, vice versa, then why are you using do, does, and all such things, if you just bother him, if you just pester him by interrupting him again and again, you are doing nothing but you are just spoiling his thoughts. You are not letting him think, and you are putting him in a pathetic situation where even if he wants to speak further, if he wants to speak something more, then he is not able to, just because of the fear somebody would correct him again, somebody would again point out his mistakes. So that generates fear inside that person, and the same thing the person should not do to himself also. Sometimes we or sometimes people themselves try to find those errors, or they themselves put in a situation where they think I will be making mistakes, or I would be committing errors, I should not speak this, I should speak less so that I commit less errors. They speak less because they want to commit less errors. So why don't you think in this way, that speak more and let the errors happen? The fourth secret is something we don't want to try. We are aware of it very well, but people do not want to try it. And what's that? Using technology for your practice, using technology for your knowledge and for your fluency. We have ChatGPT, we have Google, and if I especially talk about ChatGPT, so no matter how much I praise it, it would be less for it, because it's absolutely amazing. If you haven't tried it, then do try it, please. Just give it a try. I said Google also because yeah, Google is something precise and it would give you, but it won't be in detail, but yes, it is good sometimes, better than ChatGPT when you just want answer in 1 or 2 lines, because ChatGPT will give you that detailed answer and you may get bored, but ChatGPT, it has no comparison, trust me. So what happens if you are thinking of some ideas? I just remember one of my recent videos on Instagram. There I was talking about कि तुम्हारा क्या जाता है, मैं कुछ भी करूँ, and उसका क्या जाता है and all. So these are the slangy terms. These are something we use in our local language and in our day-to-day language, not local language. These are the daily basis sentences, daily used sentences. And sometimes we think कि अरे इसको English में कैसे बोलेंगे? How do we say this in English? So these things keep going on in our mind. तब हम सोचने लग जाते हैं कि ठीक है, बोलते होंगे कुछ भी, what's it to us? Why do we think about this? तो हम उसे छोड़ देते हैं, we just skip it. But the fact here is you don't need to skip it. You immediately have to Google it. You immediately have to open your ChatGPT probably. Go to ChatGPT and ChatGPT would give you the perfect answer. Just ask ChatGPT that what would be the translation for this particular sentence? How should I say this sentence in English, or how can I say this in English? And it will give you amazing answers with detailed information and reasons also. So try all these things. Similarly in case of words also, कि फिलहाल तो मैं भी busy हूँ, then you might be thinking कि फिलहाल को English में क्या बोलेंगे? So again you Google it simply that what do we call or फिलहाल in English. You just simply type फिलहाल in English, or you go to ChatGPT and you ask that ChatGPT, could you provide me 3-4 sentences with the help of the word filhal, that is for the time being in English or as of now. So try all these things. These are the secrets, and I tried it at the time when I was not aware with ChatGPT even, means it wasn't there at all, I think. In this way, you are quickly decoding your sentences, because when you are in the real conversation, then your mother tongue only comes in your mind. You think in your style only. So in English, if we have some professional ways to say, or if we have some casual ways to say, so that those sentences do not come to our mind. What comes in our mind is our style, what we say, or the slangy terms only come in our mind. The example I gave you कि तुम्हारा क्या जाता है और मैं कैसे भी कर लूँगा, I will somehow do this. So these are something that we use in Hindi language, or you might be using in your language also. So these things only come in your mind, come in your head when you are in the real conversation. So when you are quickly decoding the sentences, this will ease your conversation, this will help you speak fluently, this will not hinder the conversation, or this will not become a hurdle in your conversation, because you already learned it when you were getting stuck, when you were talking to yourself. Now here you can combine two secrets. One is think in English, and here what I'm talking about. So it's what happening here is when you are already thinking something in English, and then you are getting stuck at some point of moment in probably in some words or phrases, then you stop yourself, quickly open your mobile phone, because usually we just need our mobile phone every time, we are just handy to it. So when we need it, then why don't we use it? So whenever you get stuck, you quickly open Google or Chat GPT, whichsoever you are comfortable with, and then just get to know how to say that particular sentence or particular word in English. The last secret is the ultimate secret, and you know it very well. This is your practice. For this particular secret, I won't be exaggerating, because I have already said many a time, and this time I will not be talking too much about it. I will just brief it in some points, that join English clubs, join applications, just have some kind of community, have some kind of people whom you can speak with. This is it, I want to say. I won't be exaggerating, as I already said, because you know it. And even after knowing, if you are not implementing on this, then this is your fault. And you have to accept it, that this is your fault. So if you believe in it, if you think it works, and you think or you don't, but it works. It indeed works, and you have to do it. You have multiple options. Even if you do not want to spend money, then also you have a lot of options. So try it if you really want to learn this language. And if you don't want, if you're just taking it for granted, it's your wish then. Now let me just conclude my points I said. The first is think in English. Second, follow shadowing technique, that is your imitation technique. Third is fluency over accuracy, means you need to allow your mistakes, just let the mistakes happen, but work on it also later on. The fourth is you're using technology in a proper manner. As soon as you're getting new things, as soon as you're coming across to new things, new words or expressions, immediately search it on Google or use ChatGPT. ChatGPT is the best option for sentences and for the meanings also. It can give you in Hindi too. The fifth is the ultimate, I have already mentioned, which is your practice. Practice from wherever you can. In this situation, whatever floats your boat, just do it, but you have to practice. And there is no other substitution for this. I hope you liked it, and please do let me know on the comment section that do you face any other problems apart from this, the problems I might have mentioned in this video, and do you think these are the secrets which will for sure work in your case? And try it first of all, then come and give me the feedback that whether it's actually working. And if you're not understanding that how to actually implement on these secrets, how to actually work on it, then you can ask me, I would be replying for sure. Do let me know if you have some more queries regarding this. I'll see you in the next video. Till then, bye.